NBC Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Welcome back, everyone, to another fantasy football season in the Duffy's West Point Fantasy Football League. It's the closest thing to real ownership and being real owners. After hours of research, I will share my thoughts on how I believe the draft will go this year. Without any further delay, let's get started. Because of complaints on the last few seasons being a little long, I will try to curtail the drama and get right to the picks from a beautiful terrace in Italy. After being told you never know until you try it, Cole found out that being kissed by a dolphin is better than any kiss from a woman. Nothing can make Cole more happy and put a bigger smile on his face. Since falling for a dolphin, Cole takes with the first pick of the draft, oft injured and the second coming of Dan Marino, Ryan Tannehill. There has been a trade, and who would have expected it to involve Team Ginsburg? Brett and Mark switched their draft positions for the respective seats in the Saturday night synagogue service at the temple. Brett will now select second and will now sit in the third to last row, while Mark will pick seventh and will now be seated front row and center every Saturday night. In the off-season, Brett auditioned for a local Swan Lake production as a backup flamingo and secured a role. His favorite part of being in the play was getting to wear eyeliner and makeup every night. With the second pick, Brett selects Colin Kaepernick since they both are using the same hairdresser. With Fee being off the grid for months now and not trolling Facebook, who knows what's in his complex mind? Whatever it is sure to be unorthodox and undoubtedly a losing combination, and will be trying to make nonsensical trades to dig himself out of his own hole. Speculation has Fee taking 4 quarterbacks in the first 4 rounds, with Baker Mayfield being his first round pick because of the rainbow posing for the camera. Justin is barely holding on to his team after a huge financial hit while purchasing this mailbox to place on an empty lot. In addition, there's another mouth to feed in the newly formed corporation. Salaries are being cut drastically for the Troopsburg Fighting Amish, and it's doubtful they will continue to be competitive moving forward. Not much different than before. Staying within budget, Justin selects Jordan Howard and his 4-year, $2.6 million contract. Still being infuriated over Colin Kaepernick and NFL players kneeling, Mary took to Washington, D.C. to have a visit with her good friend Donald Trump. Unfortunately, she was stopped dead in her tracks by some of Donald's cabinet members. After discussing the contents of her kneeling ban bill, it was shortly adopted by the NFL with the blessing of Twitter's own The Real Donald Trump. With the 5th pick in the draft, Mary selects new D.C. quarterback Alex Smith. All is safe now, and tempers have calmed after a few attempted assassinations on incoming Commissioner Jason Ott's life and character, after making the unpopular decision to switch the draft around this season. Since taking office and his unpopular decision, Jason has been heard telling others that he is a 4-time champ in the league. Hell, he's even lying when he tries to claim 2. Since enjoying being defiant as new commissioner, Jason selects Des Bryant.
Oh, hi from France. We're so enjoying our vacay out of town. I just want to remind everybody that you need to bring your bathing suit along with you, because I planned a pool party for after, we'll start at like, noon or 1, and then we're going to go ahead and jump in the pool and have some fun afterwards.
The draft starts at 5 now. It was supposed to be at 12, but Jason went ahead and changed it to 5 o'clock.
Mother of God. Where's that man? Where's his phone number?
The phone's right over there. Give him a call if you're pissed. After winning his first championship, Mark was in a fierce battle between 2 of the most successful Jewish owners in the league. Brett felt he was cheated out of the championship because of owner collusion between Mark and Mary, when in fact Mary just wanted to touch the belt again, since she'll never touch it again by winning it. Congrats to Mark on his first championship in Duffy's West. With the 7th pick, Mark selects his perennial favorite, the Gronk. After spending time in a certain padded cell, James came up with the idea of creating a room that could not be escaped. He has now been stuck in the room he designed for over a week now. Even he can't figure out how to escape. We're not sure he'll make it out to make his pick this year, then again, doesn't really matter in the standings. With the 8th pick, overall, James selects Jacoby Brissett because he was never able to escape the pass rushes, being sacked 52 times in 2017. After getting pistol whipped by a homeless woman in the beautiful downtown streets of Jacksonville, Corey's images have become as foggy as his brain. Shortly after taking this shot, he was heard muttering some philosophical rant like, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. WTF is that?" Because of his newfound Buddhist philosophies, Corey selects fellow intellect Ryan Fitzpatrick so they can have their deep thought discussions on the bench. This offseason, Josh finally found a version of baseball in which he can excel without the ball going through his legs. But one should never wear that hat and logo when playing such a sport. Even after finally realizing there is something much, much bigger in the world than FAU, Josh still can't break free from his dark fantasies of getting Tinkerbell and Cinderella locked up and liquored in her castle. With the 10th pick, Josh selects Nick Foles, hoping for another Cinderella finish. Gary picks 11th and has been unable to concentrate on this pick because of being so obsessed in yet another preseason of trying to figure out why someone not in the league is so equally obsessed with hosting a draft and lobbying so damn hard to have it every year. Since Gary's totally unprepared, he drafts the super rookie who has fallen through the cracks down to the 11th pick, Saquon Barkley, and will need to learn how to pronounce that name. Whatever happened to simple Bob as first names? History always tends to repeat itself, and this has been true every season with Brian. Not only does he pick last every year, it's the place he has reserved in the standings as well. Every year he is asking the question, when will I win more than a few games I win every year against the Nelson team? His frustration shows every year in the draft picture. Staying true to history, Brian selects Teddy Bridgewater for no other reason than from preventing Fee from taking the 5th quarterback in the 5th round. Well, that wraps up another year of Duffy's West Fantasy Football Mock Draft. Best of luck to all the owners. May the 11th pick of this season go on to capture the coveted belt and trophy. See everyone on Sunday. Cole, you're on the clock at 5 p.m.